Alright, good morning everybody. Nick with NK Landscaping as usual again. So I got a good one for you guys today. Just leaving my yard slash my property, spinning out on my driveway. But we have skid steer with us today. We're going to be doing some brush cutting. There we go. We're out. Alright, we're going to be doing some brush cutting today. Kurt works for a ski place during the winter. He's actually one of the managers there. And the owner of the ski place has this property. I think it's almost 4 acres that he's looking to sell. And it's nothing special. It just needs to be brush cut. It's in rough shape. So we're gonna go take a look. Well, I took a look yesterday, so I know what's going on here. I got a printout of the property map, and we're gonna go and try to open up some of the area, just so he can kind of show any prospective buyers what's going on. So, heavy load. All right, let me get over there. Let me drive over there. Be a little more attentive to the camera, and see you over there. So behind me, or now in front of me, you'll see this piece of vacant land. You may notice this area looks pretty good, but you go back there, it's a little overgrown. This is almost 4 acres that is for sale. And we got with us today a good old Bobcat T66 and the brush cutter. I'm gonna be doing a little brush cutting today. So let me get this thing warmed up here. It's a chilly morning. Let me get it unloaded. I'm gonna bring the brush cutter onto the property, and then I'm going to attempt to back the trailer in this little entrance here just to get it off the road. Then we just gotta hit the blades on the brush cutter real quick with the grinder, sharpen them up. We'll get to work here and hopefully get some good footage for you. But let me get this baby unloaded. We'll get to work. All right. We're sitting right at like 32, 33 degrees right now, so a little cold start after I hit the enter button. There we go. No sweat. So yeah, we're gonna let this thing warm up here. I'll get everything unchained, unloaded. We'll go from there. Oh. Alright guys, here we go. Alright, got the truck back down in here. It's a tight squeeze, but it's in. I'm gonna go ahead and grease the machine to start, and then we'll fuel it up and give these blades a little touch up. So for those of you curious, I think I've showed this before, but this is a Rut Manufacturing Terminator XP brush cutter. It has 4 of these big blades that swing and pivot, so if you hit something, they swing out of the way. A huge, massive flywheel, and then we have 20 of these carbide cutters on the bottom, so that actually grinds material up after it's been cut. Very useful for like a finishing pass, or when you have bigger trees that kind of need to get ground. So what I gotta do here, you can see these blades are a little worn, so just throw a clamp on them. I'm gonna hit them with the grinder here real quick, hit all 4 of these, just the front side, and then we'll actually be able to get to work here. Doesn't have to be anything perfect. These are just gonna get beat up by spinning around this property here. I'm just trying to get a slightly cleaner edge on them, just so it does do a little better with some of the smaller brush. It's basically like you're beating the tree to death. This will just help with like the grass and stuff, that I can get a little bit of a nicer cut on it. So for anybody curious, this is a 3-hose setup. So we have our supply line, our return line, and then this small center one is a case drain. This is a high flow attachment. I believe it's capable, 30 gallons per minute, and this Bobcat pumps out somewhere in the 20s. So basically that case drain is just when you hit something, the hydraulic pump slows down, and you got all that pressure flowing in there. There's bound to be a little bit of leakage past the seals in the pump. That case drain allows that leakage to get pushed back out, back into the system without creating pressure in the pump that could blow out seals. Most high flow systems have it, low flow systems may not. I prefer having it, it's a safety thing. So I'm gonna get started over here. I'm not even gonna bother fueling the machine up. It's got a little over half tank, and if I need to fill up, I'll fill up later. I'm gonna start in this area. I'm going back right to where it gets really thick here. After we get this section cleaned up, there's like a road that goes into the back, and it goes back pretty far. That's the main cleanup portion of this job. So I'll get you set up here. I'm gonna try to get the 2 cameras out, and I'll get you some footage. I brought the drone too, so once I get into this, I'll fly the drone up and get some cool shots. right, as you can see here, I'm making some progress. Trying my best to get you some good footage. This is some thick stuff here that I'm getting through, so it's taking me a minute. Like I said, we're kind of going back to it gets really, really heavy as we go this direction. That kind of pushes out into the property here. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep tackling this area. We're basically gonna go down to just before those houses, and then we make a left. So I gotta get some more batteries, and I'll probably grab the drone too, just to be able to fly that up in a little bit here. So I'll check back with you in a minute, guys. Guys, I just fueled up real quick. Like I said, I started this project at probably a little over half tank, and then when we're full throttle mulching, we're burning somewhere in like the 3 gallon per hour range. So take a little trip here. Watch out, there's these little PVC pipes. I don't know what they're for. Someone did some drainage here at some point. So I got the majority of this front section done. Just like I said, I came back to fuel up, drink some water, and I grabbed the drone. majority of this front section is kind of mulched through. Like I said, I went back to like that really thick mark. And this property is kind of low-lying, so it gets a little wet in some of these spots. I don't really feel like getting the machine stuck, but I got back, like I said, to the thick section. I got to come over here in the corner and start to actually round the corner into the back. Like I said, this section's basically done as far as I'm going to go with it. It's kind of what he wanted here, just to open this up to the thick part. And then he really wanted the back cleared out. He really wants people to be able to see, you know, what 4 acres really looks like. So I'm gonna make my way on back here. This whole section is done. It's kind of weird. This property has like these undulations, like to my left here. It's a hump, then a dip, then a hump, then a dip. So what I got to do here is this little bit in the corner. Kind of right in front of us, there's this little triangle over to the road is right over here. There's a big pipe in the way. So I'm just going to clean up around these trees, and then we're going to work our way back, and I'll throw the drone up, because that should be, you know, me going back and forth pretty well. So I'll check in with you in a minute here. Alright guys, you probably just saw some drone footage. I'm into some really thick stuff right now, so I figure I'll set the camera up and just let you watch me punch the stuff down. A little tricky, there's a lot of little roots in here and little stumps because the owner did come through here and kind of lop some stuff down by hand. And that's making it a little bouncy in here. Just like that. We're making some good progress. We're trying to open up the back. The owner did stop by. He said he was absolutely blown away by what I've been able to do so far. He thought we were coming with a little brush hog behind a tractor or something. Or that's what, you know, he kind of thought in his head we'd be able to accomplish. So I'm just munching down these trees back here. There's a rock wall somewhere that I'm trying to find. And that's the end of the property line. And then I'm going to cut around back, I believe. So hopefully that drone footage turned out okay. I was launching stuff at the thing, and I ended up chipped like 3 of the propellers pretty bad. It being so cold out, mixed with the fact that I was just throwing stuff at it. The props of the drone were, you know, doing karate, and put some tears in the blade. It still flies. Gotta order some new blades. We're punching our way through here. There's not a whole lot of room in this section, so I have to like strategically open it up. I'm actually doing a little more work than I had planned on, just because I have to open this stuff up so much, just to be able to move around in here. Thread the needle between these trees. No, I can't. Too tight. That means I might have to go through here. I don't know. Let's think about this for a second. Just keep munching this way. Look at this leaning tree up here. I don't want it to fall on me. I think it's holding itself up by the looks of everything. This is where it gets really sketchy, just because like I'm backing up and you know you're turning around kind of without realizing it, and I haven't done it yet, not today at least. But you back into trees. I don't feel like it dented up my machine. Scratching it, that's a different story. It's already scratched. It is a work machine. I just don't want to put dents in it. Alright, that's the path I think I'm going to take. Just gotta move some of this out of here. Something I want to talk about real quick. You'll see me kind of, I've mentioned it before in prior videos, I'm kind of like pawing like a cat at the brush in front of me. One thing you'll notice I never do, I'm never going to lift this thing up, you know, I'll do it right now just to show you, but I don't ever want to do this with the deck flat, because this has a tendency to shoot stuff out the back, and the last thing I want to do is shoot stuff through my window. So what I'll do, if anything, I'll put this vertically, so the bottom of the deck now is pointing at the ground. So when I come up to something, I can do that, and I might paw at like these hanging branches just so I can get under this tree. But I never ever want to point the back of that deck at myself, because you know you should see the velocity some of these sticks come out of here. You can impale yourself. I'm very strict about that. So the pawing helps me alleviate, you know, having to do that. Like I said, I won't have to do that. So we're going to continue on through here. You know, the drone really made it easy for me to film. DJI Spark, and it's got a 10-minute battery life on the ideal day when it's warm. In the cold here, it's pretty bad. I have 2 batteries, and that's like, if I'm lucky, 20 minutes of flight time. So I've got 2 dead batteries with me here. I did bring the charger in the truck, but now I'm like hundreds of feet away from the truck. So I'll try to get it up one more time before I leave. Pretty darn good progress here. Alright guys, still making progress here. Like I said, I'm in a thicker area, so I'm not moving as fast as I could be if it was just grass. But this was, I don't know, some sort of improvised driveway. You can kind of see the center of it weaving through here. There's this drainage ditch on the side, so I did did the passes on this side, did one little pass on the other side just to open that up. Still trying to figure out if I want to open this area up or not. But I came on through here. The defined road kind of stopped in here. I'll show you here. You could see where the owner was coming through and kind of chopping everything. You know, just lopping it off with probably a set of loppers. But this trail kind of came back through here very roughly to this basketball hoop that's just down in the woods. He said there's a rock wall back here. I haven't been able to find it just yet. because the trail kind of stops here. I don't really see a rock wall. The neighbor's dump here, I assume this is theirs. So I don't really want to go farther that direction. Like I said, I have the parcel map in the truck, but I think the goal is going to be maybe push a little farther this way. He did want me to try to connect over to the left. So the truck is over there, and that rock wall that I started with is somewhere back there. He wanted me to try to connect over to that. Now we gave him a day rate, so it's whatever I get done in a day. So I think I might explore the option of kind of going through here, turning left, and going over. I got this little drainage ditch that's pretty wet, and it looks like it's wet over there and dries out that way. So I want to try to stay out of that if I can. Yeah, we'll see. Just gonna clean the machine off again while I have it stopped, and then swap out batteries in this camera because we're pretty dead, and then I'll see you when I pick back up here. Okay, so found the rock wall. So this property is shaped like a triangle, basically. If you imagine, the road is directly in front of me. The property goes this way, so that trail that I cut in, or cut, you know, a little heavier, goes that way. It shoots over. It's kind of funny shaped. It's like a triangle with a square end. So this end shoots kind of into the distance and then makes a hard right, goes towards the road, and then this should continue straight down this way to kind of where the truck is parked. This is like a stream that I don't feel comfortable crossing just this moment. It's a bit wet. I kind of touched into it a little bit here. I don't trust it. I don't want to sink the machine. I can't get a truck back here. Excavator's on a different site. It's just not worth it. I'm gonna go back around to the front where I started today, and then I'll come in from this side if I can. I don't want to go any closer this way. I don't know if there's a rock wall to stop me, and the neighbor's house is right there with a lawn. This brush cutter shoots stuff so far. That's the last thing I want to do, is shoot debris into their property. I don't even see a rock wall coming through here. I see the rock wall to my left, but I don't see the end. But yeah, I don't want to shoot anything into their property. I want to be polite. It's not, that's the last thing you want. This thing really does shoot stuff far. You know, there's just a piece over there, but you don't want something like this flying at someone else's property. So I'm gonna make my way back to the front. Maybe when I'm down there I can throw those drone batteries on charge, and get the machine cleaned off here. Running through here, we got a lot of stuff falling on my head. So let me get cleaned up, shoot back to the front, and I'll reconvene in a minute. Alright, I just took a little water break here. I gave the drone batteries a few minutes to charge. Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish out this section like I said, and while I'm loading up the machine I'll give the drone batteries a few more minutes to charge. One of them is getting past halfway, which will be good. Give me a nice flight time just so I can get a final picture, a couple pictures and videos to finish, but I'm not going to get any more working video with the drone. But yeah, let me get to it. I'll try to get a little bit more video for you guys. I don't know how long the video is already. I can't edit while I work. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys here. I'm running out of SD card storage on this camera, but I got that one right there. So let me see what I can do. It's hard to get some exterior shots just because I'm moving so much distance. So here's the rock wall. You just saw the old rock wall back there. It should be somewhere in that range if you connect the line from here to probably here. So let me start getting into this. Well guys, the camera died on me before, or at least the SD card filled up. So I got you on the backup camera. But we did it. I was able to punch through over here. You can probably just see the truck right there. This area had me a little worried. It's a little wet, but we persevered. I got up as close to the rock wall as I could. In this area, I didn't really want to be driving like this to kind of paw at that, so that's the best we're gonna get for now. And then we made our way back through here. Just cleaned off the machine. And here we are. There's the other side of the creek, or whatever you want to call this, drainage ditch. So I got as close as I could here. I started sinking in pretty bad there, and once you get the front of the track down, that's the problem. You know, it's not so much, I don't think the machine itself would have a problem, especially not with a bucket on it, because I could just push down on the bucket. This thing's so long and front heavy, you don't have any leverage on it. So if you do get stuck, number one, the machine is already up on its toes, and if you pick it up, you sink deeper, and by the time you actually kind of tilt this down to like try to push yourself out, you have no more leverage. So getting stuck with this, I've never done it, but I don't plan to, because you just got to be smart with it. So machine's relatively cleaned off, just so I don't track all this stuff back onto the lawn. I'm gonna track my way out of here, then blow the machine off, get it ready for the trailer, get those drone batteries charging for a few more minutes, and I'll show you the finished product here. But it came out pretty nice. You can see, like I said, this is no FAE mulcher, no Vacant head. You know, it's like I said, it's leaving these chunks. It's nothing fancy. In the areas where it's thinner brush, like I'd say anything under 2 inches, it does a fantastic job. Cleans it up and mulches everything up really well. But a lot of the things in here were like 3, 4, up to 6 inches in some spots. Actually, where is it? Here it is. It's almost, I wear a size 11 shoe, so, but I'm very happy. The client did stop by before and said he was absolutely blown away by the progress that we'd made and the quality of the work, so that's awesome. So let me head back to the truck, get this thing cleaned off. I'm actually going to pull these, clean these tracks out here real quick, and then we'll get moving. All right, machine is all blown off. Scraped the tracks one last time. Disconnected the hydraulic lines. That's a big one. Do not disconnect your hydraulic attachment without first disconnecting the hydraulic lines, or you're going to have a bad time. So, get the brush cutter put up on the trailer, swap back to the bucket, blow off the road, strap down the machine, blow off the trailer, all those things. And then I will try to get the drone up in there for you guys to get some final shots. So bear with me here. All right, all loaded up, roads cleaned off. Can't complain. All right, guys, as usual, thank you so much again for watching. It does mean a lot to me. If you want to like, if you want to comment, if you want to subscribe, do whatever makes your heart happy. I'm gonna get some drone footage if I can. Hopefully those batteries charged up a little bit, and we will get out of here. But for now, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.